somebody sees a headline and they're like, oh, that guy just got lucky. They don't understand. If you want to be great at the highest level, I think short-term memory, forgetting what it was actually like, it plays a big role in that. Was that kind way of saying fast?
Sure.
So we were just talking about somebody sees a headline and they're like, oh, that guy just got lucky, or overnight success type thing. And they don't understand the foundational work that goes into it. We were talking about, oh, Cloden's a fast, really, really fast elite. He could do 100 Ironmans. That's not always the case. Yeah, there's some guys that probably can, but it's a different challenge. It's a different ask on the body. People also don't know that my fastest Olympic is a 156, and that I was doing speed and sprints. I've been to Kona. I've been to the 70.3 World Championships. I've won 2 iron distance races. My fastest half is a 4:39. 4:39, which isn't blazing, but it's not like I'm just like, oh, I just go like a turtle all the time. But that's the foundational work over years and years and years. And then we got talking about speaking. I do a speaking career, and one of my athletes, she's actually a kettlebell world champion, and she was asking me about speaking, how I got to be on some of the top stages around the world, and how that happens. And I was like, well, interestingly enough, I started speaking back in 2012 for free, as often as I could. And I spoke to scout groups, I spoke to schools, elementary schools. I mean, you talk, like, I spoke everywhere for free. And it's about getting in as many reps as you can. In fact, just last week, I got called by a local high school here to talk to their tri team. No money, no nothing, but I went and I practiced a story that I hadn't told before to see how it went, and just getting in those reps. And once you start speaking for free, then you go do something that nobody can deny that they want to hear that story. I heard Steve Martin say one time, how do you become great? You go do something at such a high level that people cannot deny that accomplishment. And it was interesting. Oh, I don't know if I can find it. We'll find it and we'll post it. It was a thing from Tom B. Liu yesterday. It was like, how do you become an influencer? And it was like, put down your phone, go do something incredible for 10 years, become an expert that you cannot be denied that you're the expert, and then pick your phone back up. And I said, I sent a message to Tom, and I said, thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that message to people, because people truly don't realize, like, I'm 9 years into a speaking career to where I did it for free. I didn't just show up on, Procter & Gamble's stage. I didn't just show up on Nike's stage. It was a lot of groundwork, a lot of repetition, and it's the same thing with sport. If you want to be great at the highest level, you have to master the basics. You have to show up on the daily. You have to do the groundwork for a decade. Guarantee you, your favorite superstar on TV that you watch?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, great, there you go. I guarantee you there's a moment before you knew who Ryan Gosling is, you could watch a movie from 5 years ago and he's like the cameo guy walking in the background. Or he did a total cheesy commercial and nobody knew who he was until they knew who he was. And so position yourself and do the work where nobody knows who you are until the moment they know who you are. And it just takes grind, it takes hustle, it takes sacrifice. Everybody knows what they want, but do you know what you're willing to sacrifice? If you can answer that question, you are well on your way to greatness.
So James Lawrence, how are you approaching the 100 differently than the 50?
Oh man, that could be an entire long episode in itself because we're doing a ton of stuff differently. I hear from our man Clodian that people maybe don't understand. Maybe think that we just wing these type of things, that there's not a lot of preparation, a lot of team that goes into something like this. Yes, normally year-round when I don't have a big challenge, not really a routine guy, not really structure, but when it comes right down to it and it's go time, put an unbelievable team around me, and I wear all these different tracking devices, and we track everything. We have a whole cardiologist team monitoring what's on the inside. I have 2 different tri-coaches, Coach Aaron, Coach Carly of Team Iron Cowboy. We're monitoring everything on the daily. We upload all the data. We're very meticulous. What's different from the 50? Logistics are going to be different. We don't have to travel and go everywhere. The purpose of this and what we're doing is, if you remove chaos and you put team structure and organization around it, can you double impossible and defy logic? And so that was the premise of what we're doing. That we're going to do them all here in Utah, so that's a huge difference. Yeah, it's just been a different feeling. Before, when we announced the 50, everyone said, impossible, can't be done, you're an idiot. Now we announced the 100, and it's like, when are you doing it? How can we support? We're coming in, what can we do? That's a very different feeling. And for the first time in a decade, I feel like the triathlon community is coming back together. And I'd like to thank 2020 for that. So thank you, 2020. If there's anything good that's come from it, it has brought triathletes back together. Because for a minute there, it was a little touch and go whether we even like each other. So it's great that we're back together. The support's been overwhelming. March 1st, June 8th, we can't wait.
So break it down. Like, a lot of people think, okay, you've done the 50. What's a 50 more after that? But the fact is, what are you doing 100 of? Break down each of the sports.
You can't put into words or describe the compounding effect of an Ironman a day, right? So, one of my all-time favorite stories is day 3 of the 50. I'm running with a guy, we're on the bike, and he's like, man, why are we going so slow? And I'm like, dude, this is your one Ironman that you're doing. And so it's like when you're doing triathletes, you'll get this. When you're doing mile repeats or 400s or 10 by 1s in the pool. The first one, man, how many times have you said to yourself, I wish that all of them felt like the first one. I wish I felt as good, as strong. Why can't I maintain that? Because that load over time is detrimental to our system. And so that's, I mean, we saw, if you've seen the documentary, read the book, you know what happened 1 through 50, a lot of that had to do with chaos, but it's still 140.6 miles a day. So an Ironman swim, 2.4 miles. An Ironman bike, 112. And then it's a full marathon, 26.2 miles. That's 140.6 miles a day. And for the 100, that's 14 weeks, totaling over 14,000 miles, no days off. And here's the other crazy part. You take away the logistics, but you add in the monotony and boredom of the exact same course every single day. Let's say we make it to day 75, right? How do you wake up in your own bed, at home with your kids and say, 25 more, right? And so now you're adding in an entire mental, psychological piece to this puzzle. And I've been speaking around the world for the past 5 years, and companies want to, like, they love it that I'm going to be a guinea pig for this. The scientists behind this, the medical journals that are studying this, like, they are so stoked, because how often you get an opportunity that you get a whack job like me that is willing to put everything on the line and go, yeah, you know, for the next 14 weeks, let's get out there and do this. So it's fun. We love it, but it's very, very different for sure.
So my main thing, knowing you pretty well, how do you stay motivated? You use the term whack job, but I like to think you're a person whose ambitions far exceed your talents. How do you stay motivated to finish the 50, go in the record books, call it a day, keep doing what you're doing, but yet you're coming back for round 2 and saying, no, I'm going to redefine impossible?
I think short-term memory, forgetting what it was actually like, it plays a big role in that. We do it for causes. We're partnering with Operation Underground Railroad. They do like sting operations on human trafficking and sex slavery. And that is a topic that we should all be talking about. I have 4 teenage girls in my house right now, and you look around and you look at the stories and the headlines, and it's like, these are the types of people that are targets. And everybody's a target. I just read a thing that males are targets. It's crazy. And I think if I can suffer for 100 days to potentially free another human being that doesn't know when their suffering is going to end, that gets you up in the morning. And the fact that we've got messages from around the world of people saying, where can we donate, how can we help, how can we show up, that's the goal, is to have that kind of impact. And so that should get anybody up in the morning to do the work, right?
Yeah, so what you're saying is, what's after the 100? Are you gonna just call it a day, or are you still gonna try to find other ways to piss off your wife?
She's right there. She's not pissed off, she's smiling. Just like after the 50, it turns into sharing the story and getting the message out there. I realize you only have to do crazy every so often. And hopefully this one is crazy enough that it lasts a really long time, and then I can transition into more fun, golfing, being with the kids. And my youngest is now 12 and will be out of school soon, 11. When you have 5 to lose track. And then I get to be, Sunny can start traveling with me. And that changes the dynamics of what we do for travel and speaking and everything too. So we are planning for, right now we're looking as far ahead as this workout.
Yeah.
And then we have a game plan to get us to the start of the 100, which from this video, it is only 44 days away. And then we will look singularly every single day, every moment to make it to the 100, and then who knows what's gonna happen after that. Anybody watching this, if you wanna come join us, it is March 1st, June 8th, all here in Utah. All the information is gonna go up on the website, ironcowboy.com. And so we want as much support and love as we can.
Last question for you. Having done research on you and just looking at you in person, you look lean, strong, but more importantly, you look a little bit thicker. And one of the things that I had...
Thicker, was that kind way of saying fat?
Sure. Based on the research that I was doing, you're trying to, the photo of you that went viral of looking completely shredded towards the end of the 50, one of the things that I think based on what I've read, that you're changing is you want to make sure that you're going into the 100 stronger but more nourished, so you can endure day 51, day 75, day 99. And also you're incorporating a lot more weightlifting. How did that come about?
Yeah, we did a lot of weightlifting going to the 50. We knew we needed to be strong and durable. This one, it's even more important. I got down to 4% body fat by the end, and that you start getting into dangerous levels. So yeah, I'm gonna go into it a little heavy, intentionally. That's why we just posted a video of the fat that we're adding to my 3 servings of steel cut oats that I ate moments before I'm about to do my workout. And my nutritionist, another one of the details that we're trying to control is how much and what I'm eating. So yeah, you gotta go in heavy. I hope to go in around 170 pounds, and I hope to stay above 160 by the end. That's gonna take a big task eating and figuring that out. And that's one of the things that Sunny is excited about this time. She says, I am going to control what you eat. I've taken control of this project. And that's super exciting for me too, because she didn't have that opportunity in the 50s. She was thrown into it and it was chaos. Our kids were way younger. My older daughters are very engaged, or my oldest daughter is engaged in this one on a different level and is running operations behind the scenes. She just turned 18, Lucy. And so lots is different. But yeah, we got to go into this a little bit heavy. And I'm also older too, right? I was 39 when I did that. I'll be turning 45, but it'll be interesting to see how the body adapts and evolves, how it holds up. There's a lot of unknowns. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw, like, comment below. Tell us what you want to see in the future. We're making these videos for you. So go ahead, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, and enjoy the next video.